The quarterback is arguably the most important position in football. Without a good one, your team is like a car with no gas. You can press the gas pedal as much as you want, you're not going to go anywhere. When a team gets a franchise quarterback, it can set them up for over a decade of deep playoff runs and championship wins. Today, I wanted to go over the 5 greatest quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. We primarily looked at Super Bowl wins, passing yards, touchdowns, and quarterback rating to compile what we think are the best 5 quarterbacks of all time. Hopefully you don't get too mad at our picks, and press the like button if you're hyped. In the 5th spot, we have none other than John Elway, known most famously for being the Broncos quarterback that led them to 2 Super Bowls. John Elway's path to NFL greatness was marked by his exceptional talent and early dominance on the field. Born on June 28, 1960 in Port Angeles, Washington, John grew up in a football family. His father, Jack Elway, was a college football coach, which meant that John was immersed in the sport from a young age. His family moved frequently due to his father's coaching career, and eventually they settled in Granada Hills, California, where John attended high school and his football career really took off. Upon graduating high school, Elway was heavily recruited by numerous colleges for both football and baseball, but he ultimately chose to attend Stanford University in 1979. Under head coach Paul Wiggin, Elway continued to develop into one of the most talented quarterbacks in the country. Over his 4 years at Stanford, Elway put up impressive numbers, throwing for over 9,300 yards and 77 touchdowns. Despite Stanford's lack of success as a team, failing to make a bowl game during his time there, Elway's individual performances were outstanding. His ability to read defenses, make precise throws, and create plays with his legs made him one of the most sought-after prospects in football. Elway's excellence on the baseball field also continued, and he was drafted by the New York Yankees in the 2nd round of the 1981 MLB draft. This set the stage for an interesting dilemma leading into the 1983 NFL draft, as Elway was a legitimate 2-sport star with the leverage of pursuing a baseball career instead of football if things didn't go his way. When the Baltimore Colts held the 1st overall pick in the 1983 NFL draft, they made it clear they intended to select Elway. However, Elway refused to play for the Colts, citing concerns about the team's poor management and his desire to play for a more competitive franchise. Elway's refusal to join the Colts was not just a bold move, it was backed by the potential of his baseball career. Elway made it clear that if the Colts drafted him, he would sign with the Yankees and pursue a career in Major League Baseball instead. This led to a dramatic standoff, with the Colts ultimately trading Elway to the Denver Broncos in exchange for several players and draft picks. This pivotal moment marked the beginning of a legendary NFL career, with Elway going on to become one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the game. Elway immediately made an impact, taking over as the starting quarterback early in his rookie season in 1983. Though his rookie year was marked by growing pains, it was clear that Denver had landed a generational talent. He would spend the entirety of his 16-season career with the Broncos organization and still works closely with the organization to this day. Elway's ability to extend plays with his legs, coupled with his rocket arm, made him a dual-threat quarterback long before it became a trend. Over the course of his career, Elway was selected to 9 Pro Bowls and led the Broncos to 5 Super Bowl appearances. He quickly established himself as one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and by the mid-1980s, the Broncos were perennial playoff contenders. However, it was in 1986 that Elway solidified his reputation as one of the greatest clutch performers in NFL history. In the AFC Championship game against the Cleveland Browns, Elway orchestrated The Drive, a legendary 98-yard march in the closing minutes to tie the game, which the Broncos eventually won in overtime. This moment is still considered one of the greatest in NFL history. Despite leading Denver to the Super Bowl 3 times in the 1980s, the Broncos fell short each time, losing by wide margins in Super Bowl 21, 22, and 24. While these losses stained his early career, Elway's individual brilliance kept Denver competitive, and his standing as an elite quarterback was never in question. His combination of grit, leadership, and raw talent was unrivaled, but many wondered if he'd ever capture a Super Bowl title to complete his legacy. It wasn't until the late 1990s, near the twilight of his career, that Elway finally achieved the ultimate prize. In the 1997 season, at age 37, Elway led the Broncos to Super Bowl 32. Despite being underdogs against the Green Bay Packers, Elway's leadership and a stellar running game from Terrell Davis helped secure a 31-24 victory, giving Elway his first Super Bowl title. The iconic moment of Elway diving headfirst for a crucial first down, spinning through the air, became a lasting image of his will to win. The following year, in 1998, Elway capped off his career in perfect fashion. He led the Broncos to a 14-2 record and another Super Bowl appearance, this time defeating the Atlanta Falcons 34-19 in Super Bowl 33. Elway threw for 336 yards and a touchdown in the game, earning Super Bowl MVP honors, having finally secured back-to-back championships and cementing his legacy as one of the all-time greats. Elway retired following the 1998 season at the top of his game. The physical toll of 16 seasons in the NFL, including numerous injuries, played a role in his decision to walk away. However, by retiring as a two-time Super Bowl champion, Elway left the sport on his own terms, with nothing left to prove. Over his career, his total stats were 51,000 passing yards, 300 passing touchdowns, 2 Super Bowl championships, 5 AFC championships, and retired at the top of the game. He was inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2004 and now works with the Broncos as a vice president of the organization. Coming in at number 4, we have none other than Peyton Manning. He was born on March 24th, 1976 in New Orleans, Louisiana, into a family deeply entrenched in football. His father, Archie Manning, was a legendary NFL quarterback himself, playing for the New Orleans Saints, and his mother, Olivia, was the backbone of the family, supporting the football culture that Peyton and his brothers, Eli and Cooper, grew up around. From an early age, Peyton was immersed in football, often studying the game and learning from his father's experience. His natural talent and love for the game quickly became evident, and as he grew up, it became clear that Peyton was destined for football greatness. After an intense recruiting process, Peyton decided to attend the University of Tennessee, a choice that surprised many who expected him to follow in his father's footsteps and attend Ole Miss. Peyton chose Tennessee for the opportunity to carve out his own legacy, and it didn't take long for him to make his mark. He arrived in Knoxville in 1994, and although he didn't start immediately, an injury to the team's starting quarterback gave Peyton his chance early in his freshman season. From that point on, he never looked back, becoming Tennessee's full-time starter and one of the best quarterbacks in college football. Over the course of his 4-year career at Tennessee, Peyton broke numerous school and SEC records, throwing for over 11,000 yards and 89 touchdowns. Peyton's leadership on the field was as impressive as his statistics, and he developed a reputation for his intense preparation and ability to outthink opposing defenses. His decision to return for his senior year, despite being projected as the top overall pick in the 1997 NFL Draft, only further endeared him to the Volunteers fan base. In his final season, he led Tennessee to an SEC championship and a spot in the Orange Bowl, finishing second in the Heisman Trophy voting behind Charles Woodson, which remains one of the closest votes in Heisman history. By the end of his college career, Peyton had solidified his place as one of the greatest quarterbacks in college football history. Heading into the 1998 NFL Draft, Peyton was widely expected to be the top overall pick. However, there was some speculation that the San Diego Chargers, who held the second overall pick, were interested in drafting him. Manning made it clear that he did not want to be drafted by the Chargers, in part because he preferred the stability of the Indianapolis Colts, who held the first pick. The Colts, enamored by Manning's intelligence, leadership, and skill set, selected him with the first overall pick, leaving the Chargers to draft Ryan Leaf, setting up a famous what-if scenario in NFL history. Peyton's decision to avoid the Chargers would prove to be a wise one, as he went on to have one of the most illustrious careers in NFL history with the Colts. Peyton Manning's NFL career is nothing short of legendary, spanning 18 seasons, and his rookie season was rocky, with the Colts finishing 3-13, but Manning showed flashes of greatness, throwing for a then-rookie record 26 touchdown passes. From there, his career skyrocketed. Manning quickly developed into one of the league's elite quarterbacks, known for his remarkable football IQ, ability to read defenses, and precision passing. By 1999, he had led the Colts to a 13-3 record and their first playoff appearance in years, setting the stage for his future success. Over the next decade, Manning turned the Colts into perennial Super Bowl contenders. He led the league in passing yards and touchdowns multiple times, won the NFL MVP award 5 times, which is a record, and was named to 14 Pro Bowls. Perhaps most impressively, Manning revolutionized the quarterback position with his ability to run a no-huddle offense, essentially acting as an on-field coach. His mastery of pre-snap adjustments and audibles was unparalleled, earning him the nickname the Sheriff. In 2004, Manning set the single-season touchdown record with 49, breaking Dan Marino's long-standing mark. That same year, he posted a then-record passer rating of 121.1, cementing his place as one of the greatest to ever play the game. Manning's crowning achievement with the Colts came in the 2006 season when he led them to a Super Bowl 41 victory over the Chicago Bears. After years of playoff heartbreak, Manning finally secured his first championship, earning Super Bowl MVP honors in the process. He continued to put up prolific numbers year after year, and despite numerous playoff appearances, it wasn't until 2009 that Manning reached another Super Bowl. Although the Colts fell short against the New Orleans Saints in Super Bowl 44, Manning's place in NFL history was already secure. However, in 2011, Manning's career took an unexpected turn when he missed the entire season due to multiple neck surgeries. The injury led to his release from the Colts, who were preparing to draft Andrew Luck. Many wondered if Manning's career was over, but in 2012, he signed with the Denver Broncos and made an astonishing comeback. Manning's second act in Denver was nothing short of remarkable. He led the Broncos to 2 Super Bowl appearances, winning Super Bowl 50 in 2016, his second championship. During his time in Denver, Manning broke the NFL's all-time touchdown record, throwing 55 touchdown passes in 2013, another single-season record. That same season, he also set the record for most passing yards in a season with 5,477, earning his 5th MVP award. By the end of the 2015 season, however, Manning's body had begun to break down, and his once legendary arm strength was fading. Despite his physical limitations, he led the Broncos to a 12-4 record and a victory in Super Bowl 50 over the Carolina Panthers, capping his career with a storybook ending. Shortly after the Super Bowl, Manning announced his retirement from football, stating that he had nothing left to prove and wanted to walk away on top. He finished his career with 71,940 passing yards, 539 touchdown passes, and 2 Super Bowl championships, cementing his legacy as one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history. I think he would be ranked much higher with a few more Super Bowl rings, but he was thwarted in the postseason too often. In the number 3 spot, we have a player who is still in the middle of a dynasty of his own, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes was born on September 17, 1995 in Tyler, Texas, into a family with a strong athletic background. His father, Pat Mahomes, was a Major League Baseball pitcher, which gave Patrick early exposure to professional sports and the work ethic required to succeed at the highest levels. Growing up, Patrick excelled in multiple sports, including baseball, basketball, and football. However, it was football that eventually captured his heart. Even from a young age, Mahomes showed signs of his future brilliance, with a natural ability to throw the ball and an athleticism that allowed him to stand out among his peers. Mahomes committed to Texas Tech University, where he played under head coach Cliff Kingsbury. At Texas Tech, Mahomes' raw talent and versatility became evident, though the team struggled to win games in the highly competitive Big 12 Conference. In his freshman year, Mahomes shared time as the starting quarterback, but by his sophomore year, he had cemented his place as the team's leader. His ability to improvise and make throws from impossible angles became his trademark, and he started to gain attention from NFL scouts. Mahomes' junior year was his breakout season, as he threw for 5,052 yards and 41 touchdowns, including a jaw-dropping performance in a game against Oklahoma, where he passed for 734 yards in a single game, setting an NCAA record. Despite Texas Tech's struggles as a team, Mahomes' individual success and ability to put up huge numbers made him a highly intriguing NFL prospect. He decided to forego his senior season and enter the 2017 NFL Draft. While many analysts praised his arm talent and playmaking ability, there were also concerns about his playing style, which some believed might not translate to the NFL. However, the Kansas City Chiefs saw Mahomes' potential as a game-changing quarterback. They traded up to the 10th overall pick in the draft to select him, making him the second quarterback taken that year. The Chiefs head coach Andy Reid recognized Mahomes' unique talents and knew he could mold him into a star. Little did the football world know at the time, but this move would change the future of the Chiefs and the NFL. After spending his rookie season learning behind veteran quarterback Alex Smith, Mahomes took over as the Chiefs' starting quarterback in 2018 and immediately took the league by storm. In his first full season as a starter, Mahomes threw for 5,097 yards and an astonishing 50 touchdown passes, becoming only the 3rd quarterback in NFL history to reach the 50 touchdown mark in a season. His combination of a rocket arm, mobility, and ability to make plays from unconventional angles redefined what was possible at the quarterback position. That season, Mahomes was named NFL MVP and led the Chiefs to the AFC Championship game, narrowly losing to the New England Patriots in overtime. The following year, in 2019, Mahomes further solidified his place as one of the league's best quarterbacks. Despite dealing with a knee injury that sidelined him for a few games, Mahomes guided the Chiefs to the playoffs. In the postseason, he orchestrated one of the most impressive playoff runs in recent memory. Mahomes led Kansas City to come from behind victories in each playoff game, including a memorable performance in the AFC Championship against the Tennessee Titans. His most significant achievement came in Super Bowl 54, where the Chiefs faced the San Francisco 49ers. Down by 10 points in the fourth quarter, Mahomes rallied the Chiefs with 2 touchdown drives, leading Kansas City to a 31-20 victory and their first Super Bowl championship in 50 years. Mahomes was named Super Bowl MVP, cementing his status as the new face of the NFL. In 2020, Mahomes continued to excel, leading the Chiefs to a 14-2 regular season record and another trip to the Super Bowl. Though they fell short to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Super Bowl 55, Mahomes' play remained elite throughout the season. His remarkable consistency and ability to make spectacular plays under pressure kept him among the top quarterbacks in the league. Off the field, Mahomes signed a record-breaking 10-year, $503 million contract extension with the Chiefs, the largest in sports history at the time, demonstrating the franchise's belief in him as their cornerstone for years to come. Since then, he has won a Super Bowl twice more over the last 2 years, alongside putting up Pro Bowl numbers. As of the current season, Mahomes is once again performing at a high level, but his overall production this season has looked pretty off compared to normal. He continues to make jaw-dropping plays and has the Chiefs positioned as one of the top contenders in the AFC. His leadership poise and relentless work ethic have made him the undisputed leader of the Chiefs and one of the most recognizable faces in the NFL. With multiple Pro Bowl selections, 3 Super Bowl titles, an MVP award, and countless highlight reel moments, Mahomes has already built an impressive resume, and he's showing no signs of slowing down. At just 28 years old, the future remains incredibly bright for Mahomes, as he continues to redefine what it means to be an elite quarterback in the modern NFL. If he wins a few more Super Bowls, then he will be in GOAT conversations for ages to come. In the second spot, we have none other than Mr. Joe Cool himself. Joe Montana, one of the most iconic quarterbacks in NFL history, was born on June 11th, 1956 in New Eagle, Pennsylvania. Growing up in a small town, Montana was introduced to sports at a young age by his father, who played a significant role in developing Joe's competitive spirit. While football would eventually define his career, Montana excelled in multiple sports as a child, including basketball and baseball. His love for sports and his natural talent quickly became evident, and by the time he reached high school, he was already making a name for himself. After an impressive high school career, Montana received a scholarship offer to play football at the University of Notre Dame. However, his college career didn't start off as smoothly as some might expect. Montana had to fight for playing time, often being overlooked in favor of other quarterbacks on the roster. Despite this, he never lost his confidence or determination. In 1977, Montana finally got his shot when he came off the bench to lead Notre Dame to a comeback win over North Carolina. This performance solidified his place as the starting quarterback, and he led the Fighting Irish to a national championship that same season. Montana's legend continued to grow throughout his time at Notre Dame, particularly for his incredible ability to perform in clutch situations. In the 1979 Cotton Bowl, Montana orchestrated one of the most famous comebacks in college football history, leading Notre Dame to victory over the University of Houston despite battling hypothermia during the game. His knack for late-game heroics earned him the nickname the Comeback Kid, and by the time he declared for the 1979 NFL Draft, he had already built a reputation as a quarterback who thrived under pressure. Despite his success in college, Montana wasn't considered a top prospect and was drafted in the 3rd round by the San Francisco 49ers. Little did anyone know, this late-round pick would go on to become one of the greatest quarterbacks the NFL had ever seen. Joe Montana's NFL career is one of the most storied in football history. Drafted by the San Francisco 49ers in the 3rd round of the 1979 NFL Draft, Montana initially wasn't expected to be the cornerstone of a franchise. But under head coach Bill Walsh, Montana quickly developed into one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Known for his poise under pressure, precision passing, and ability to perform in clutch moments, Montana became the face of the 49ers dynasty in the 1980s. Montana's breakout season came in 1981 when he led the 49ers to a 13-3 record and their first Super Bowl appearance. In that Super Bowl, Montana was named MVP after throwing for a touchdown and rushing for another, guiding the 49ers to a 26-21 victory over the Cincinnati Bengals. That season also marked the beginning of the 49ers' dominance in the NFL, with Montana firmly at the helm. His calm demeanor in the pocket and his ability to orchestrate game-winning drives made him the ideal quarterback for Walsh's innovative West Coast offense. Throughout the 1980s, Montana continued to shine, leading the 49ers to 4 Super Bowl championships in total. His most iconic moment came in the 1988 NFC Championship game against the Dallas Cowboys, known as The Catch. Montana led a dramatic last-minute drive that culminated in a touchdown pass to Dwight Clark, a play that is still etched in NFL history. That season, Montana won his second Super Bowl MVP in Super Bowl 23 with a legendary 92-yard game-winning drive against the Bengals. The following season in 1989, Montana had arguably his greatest year. He threw for over 3,500 yards and 26 touchdowns while only being intercepted 8 times. He led the 49ers to a dominant 14-2 record and capped off the year with a blowout win in Super Bowl 24, where he threw 5 touchdown passes, earning his 3rd Super Bowl MVP award. His accuracy, leadership, and unshakable composure earned him the NFL MVP award that year, solidifying his status as one of the best quarterbacks in the game. Injuries began to plague Montana in the early 1990s, and in 1993, after recovering from a long series of injuries, he was traded to the Kansas City Chiefs. Despite being in the twilight of his career, Montana still had magic left in him. In 1993, he led the Chiefs to the AFC Championship game and was selected to the Pro Bowl. He retired after the 1994 season, ending a career with 4 Super Bowl titles, 3 Super Bowl MVPs, 2 NFL MVPs, and a legacy as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. His ability to remain cool under pressure and deliver in the biggest moments left an indelible mark on the NFL and cemented his place in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And at the number 1 spot, we have none other than the undisputed GOAT, Tom Brady. Tom Brady, born on August 3rd, 1977 in San Mateo, California, grew up in a sports-loving family as the youngest of 4 siblings. His parents, Tom Sr. and Galen Brady, encouraged all their children to participate in athletics, and Tom quickly developed a passion for sports, particularly football and baseball. Growing up as a fan of the San Francisco 49ers, Brady idolized Joe Montana, and it was through watching Montana's heroics that he first dreamed of becoming a quarterback. Despite his growing potential, Brady wasn't a heavily recruited athlete out of high school. His skills improved gradually, and he caught the attention of a few colleges. However, he wasn't seen as a top-tier quarterback recruit. Ultimately, Brady accepted a scholarship to play football at the University of Michigan, a prestigious football program that gave him an opportunity to prove himself at the collegiate level. At Michigan, Brady's college career mirrored his early high school experience. He spent the first 2 years of his college career on the bench, playing behind future NFL quarterback Brian Greasy. Frustrated by the lack of playing time, Brady considered transferring but decided to stay and fight for his spot on the team. By his junior year, Brady earned the starting quarterback job, but the competition was fierce, and he had to battle Drew Henson, a highly touted recruit, for playing time. Still, Brady remained unfazed, showing resilience in high-pressure situations and leading Michigan to numerous comeback victories, including a win in the Orange Bowl in 1999. Despite his solid performances, Brady didn't have the eye-popping stats or physical attributes that caught the attention of NFL scouts. When the 2000 NFL Draft rolled around, Brady was viewed as a long shot by many teams, overshadowed by other quarterback prospects. The New England Patriots eventually selected him in the 6th round, 199th overall. Few could have predicted that this unassuming pick would go on to revolutionize the quarterback position and become one of the greatest players in NFL history. Brady entered the league with low expectations, starting as the 4th-string quarterback behind Drew Bledsoe. However, Brady's work ethic, determination, and football intelligence quickly caught the attention of the Patriots coaching staff. His big break came in 2001, during his 2nd season when Bledsoe suffered a serious injury in Week 2. Brady stepped in as the starting quarterback and never looked back, leading the Patriots to an 11-3 record in the regular season. Brady's ability to stay cool under pressure and manage games efficiently earned him the starting job permanently. That season, Brady's legend truly began to take shape during the playoffs. In Super Bowl 36, he led the Patriots to a stunning victory over the heavily favored St. Louis Rams, orchestrating a last-minute drive that set up the game-winning field goal. Brady was named Super Bowl MVP, and at just 24 years old, he had delivered the Patriots their first ever championship. It was only the beginning of his dominance in the NFL. Throughout the 2000s and 2010s, Brady cemented himself as one of the league's all-time greats. His most remarkable seasons include 2007, when he threw a then-record 50 touchdown passes, leading the Patriots to a perfect 16-0 regular season. Though the team fell short in the Super Bowl that year, Brady's individual brilliance was undeniable. In 2011, Brady passed for over 5,000 yards and guided New England to another Super Bowl appearance. One of his greatest accomplishments came in Super Bowl 51, where Brady orchestrated the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history. Down 28-3 to the Atlanta Falcons in the third quarter, Brady led the Patriots to an improbable overtime victory, securing his 5th Super Bowl title and earning his 4th Super Bowl MVP award. Brady's career longevity is unparalleled, with his ability to perform at an elite level well into his 40s, setting him apart from most NFL quarterbacks. After 2 decades with the Patriots, Brady shocked the football world by signing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2020. In his first season in Tampa Bay, Brady continued to defy the odds, leading the Buccaneers to a Super Bowl 55 victory, becoming the oldest quarterback to win a championship and collecting his 7th Super Bowl ring. As Brady continued to play at a high level, his accolades are staggering: 7 Super Bowl titles, 5 Super Bowl MVPs, 3 league MVPs, and numerous records for passing yards and touchdowns. His dominance over 2 decades, combined with his ability to thrive in the most critical moments, makes him a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer. When Brady finally decided to retire, he was remembered as the greatest quarterback in NFL history. That is just our list of the top 5 quarterbacks. If you enjoyed the video and agree with our list, then be sure to press the like button and leave a comment down below to let us know if we did a good job. We post videos like this 2 or 3 times a week and would love your support as we are trying to hit 10,000 subscribers this year. Thank you all so much for watching.